episode 6 of the Reknit, thank you, podcast, hosted by me, Roz.
And me, Emily. Welcome.
Yes, welcome to our 6th episode. I just
I
said
know.
that. Six
Episodes. This is the third, variation of filming
Oh, yes.
apparatus that we are using. I think this is probably the one I like the most so far.
Well, we haven't even, we've done nothing, barely.
No.
So, we'll see when it's edited.
Yeah.
If we like it.
Should be good.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Hopeful.
We have a varying amount of stuff. Again, it's going to be an episode that's pretty heavy on the spinning.
Yes, because Tour de Fleece finished on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's now Friday, and
Blimey, it is.
Yeah.
Good grief.
we've spent not a huge amount of time in between then knitting, owing to, having to do actual grown-up human real life stuff.
I know. Which is always boring.
Yeah, so this is not a podcast about, domestic chores.
No, this is a knitting and spinning podcast,
Yes.
and we are very heavy on the spinning.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming and watching our 6th episode. I'd like to take this moment just to do a very special shout out to both of our mothers who now both watch the podcast. So we will attempt to not, be too profane.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit later, but that is not my fault.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How does your mum feel about swearing?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, right, okay. I know my mum is not particularly fond of swearing, but she does occasionally use one of the words that I'm going to say.
Ah.
So,
Well, that's exciting
if she wants to complain about that, I'm going to have,
Please put all complaints in writing to our secretary, Pippin the cat.
Yes.
Please leave 8 to 10 working weeks for a response.
His response may be, to eat it and then puke it up again.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, on that note, we should probably talk about some stuff.
Oh, we should say before we start that I am Rosaroo on Ravelry and Rosaroo Me on Instagram.
And I am Elfie McDork on everywhere. But I tend to use Instagram the most because it's pretty pictures, and who doesn't like pretty pictures?
Yes.
Also, my hair's pink today.
Oh yeah, she dyed her hair yesterday.
That was from yesterday. That's a new edition as of yesterday, so it's quite pink. It matches the letters on the thing, so that's quite cool.
And the colour that the wall currently is, but not.
It will be
that colour.
That colour in a couple of weeks or so.
That's just a little bit of test pot there.
Watch out for that.
Yes.
Oh, we might be podcasting from somewhere else next week.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be away for a week.
Ooh,
so either we'll podcast from somewhere else or there won't be one. So we haven't decided yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you take your iPad, I'm sure we can do this kind of. You can't see what I'm doing. Gesturing at the setup we've got here.
Maybe there'll be a podcast on the road.
Yes.
Anyway, we should probably talk about some knitting.
Yes, I am doing some knitting for the first time in a long time.
So we'll start with our WIPs. WIPs stands for Works in Progress.
If you look at the screen, Mother, you'll see there isn't an H.
Not that kind.
My mother asked me this week what WIPs were with the H, and I was like, well, that's not a
WIPs,
thing.
Works in Progress. Right, are you going to go first?
I can do, because we're both knitting on the thing we're currently knitting. This is a sock. It's a double knit thickness sock. I'm knitting it on 3mm tiny circular needles. This is 2 different colours of Opal X-Large. I have in my little bag here. Oh, this is the bag. This is a bag by Amelia X Joy on Etsy. I had 3 pairs of socks that were full length socks, and I'd done the ribbing and sort of increased the ribbing, so it got bigger and bigger, and they were sort of massive, and they were too big really the cuffs kept falling down and sort of going all over the top of my shoe. So I decided I would make these shorter. So I ripped back and reknit the cuff on this and used the sort of old cuff yarn to make the start of a top-down sock. And then I did the same thing to this sock, which was the same as, they were both long socks. And now this is this part of the sock. And I have another pair of socks, which I can do this to. And I'm hoping to get maybe an extra pair of short-ish socks. You've got a slightly longer cuff, but it's not as huge.
Franken socks.
Yes. So these are going to be, I think, 4 pairs of socks out of 3 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to use up all the meters of the socks, and then I will get to count 4 pairs of socks for Stash Dash, even though I've only done like this much knitting on these socks.
Stash Dash is made for cheating.
Yes, it's not cheating, it's within the rules, it's
Yes.
just, you know,
Very,
creative.
yes, creatively ruled.
Yes, right, now that's the knitting I'm doing. I'm also working on the, oh, I'm going to see.
You sneeze into your crochet squares.
Yes, it's fine, you can't get germs through the internet. These.
I'm going to sit over here now.
Well, I'm not gonna shove these up your nose. It's fine.
That's good.
These are some of the crochet squares that I've made that we're using up.
Run out. All of yours run out.
You may need to like slightly.
I wasn't even paying attention. Then I went to do another stitch and was like, oh, so I guess that ball's run out then.
Yeah, you may need to tink back slightly so you can have enough.
You were so engaging with your sneezing squares.
Oh right, okay. That's what you like from me, is it? Lots of sneezing.
Sneezing squares. Anyway.
Okay, this is the seamless solid granny square. This is with all the different colours that I'm using for the square, and this has got like the navy blue outline as well, and all the ends have been woven in. Look,
So pretty.
So these are a blanket ready, and there are 4 of these sort of stripy squares. And this one I kind of ran out of yarn to make the stripes, so you know, one colour. So this is a bit
You're
of a.
holding it in front of my face. Okay.
Well, yeah, because that's the way that if I hold it like that, the colour sort of. To hold it,
You know.
I can hold it like that.
No, it's fine. You can hold it there.
Just, you know. There we go. So those are squares, and then I've got more squares. I finished all the insides of the squares, so I just have to border about 100 squares, maybe slightly less, with this navy blue colour, which it doesn't take too long, but there are over 100 squares to do, so you know, cumulatively it's going to take a while.
Yes.
But I'm hoping to have the blanket finished. Well, it'll definitely be finished in time for Stash Dash.
Cool.
Because yeah, I've done a lot of crocheting and I want it to count. Those are the things I'm currently working on.
Okay, it's my turn then.
Yes.
Right. I still have 2 pairs of socks that are a work in progress. What have I just done there? I've invented a stitch. That are works in progress that I've shown on the podcast before, but I've done absolutely no work on them in the last. Well, that's a lie. I may have knit like a couple of rounds, but nothing worth showing. So they're still there. I'm hoping that at least one of them might be nearly finished by next week. So we'll look at those next week.
Yes.
In the meantime, the thing that I have been knitting on the most is this thing that I'm currently working on, and that is my flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. Last time I showed it, I think I had a little bit of the body done, and now the body of the sweater is pretty much nearly done. I just have to do maybe another inch or so on the bottom.
And then the ribbon.
And then the ribbing. But once I've done the inch at the bottom, I will try it on to make sure that it's long enough.
Yes.
And then I will do the ribbing. So, let's see if I can. I'm going to have to hold this in front of you.
Do you want me to like hold this?
So here's, there we go. If you bring your end down a bit, that's better. So, this is a top down raglan sweater. Knit with Stylecraft Special DK in.
Oh, that was the yarn I'm making the crochet blanket.
All right.
Sorry, I forgot to say.
In grey.
I'm not using grey.
No. Appropriate enough. Anyway, so top down raglan sweater. It's, yeah, I mean, I've considering that I had done it about there last time we podcasted. I've done many inches, but it was just going round and round and round and stocking it. So I've pretty much done it whenever I've got a spare moment. Yeah. So sleeves obviously need to be done.
Yes.
And ribbing and stuff. And then it's got this garter stitch panel that will go all the way down the sleeves to the cuffs. So yeah, pretty cool. First ever sweater. It's looking pretty good, and I'm quite happy with it actually. I'm hopeful that it will be really nice. It's very soft and comfy, and I think I said before, because I'm knitting it out of acrylic, it's cheap
And also washable.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Very
if you
useful.
knit it, like, say, out of hand spun, that you'd spun from a fleece,
Yes.
it would be also cheap, but
Yes.
not so washable.
No. So yeah, that's a lot of knitting actually.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot. So, and so this will count a whole load for Stash Dash as well once it's finished, which it will be. Maybe might get it finished while we're away, possibly, depending on how much time I get to work on it. So
yeah, it depends if you sit in it in the car.
Probably
That's, you know, like 2 hours there, 2 hours back.
So
you probably can't take it to London on the train. It might be
no,
big.
I might have to take a sock for that one.
Yes.
But yeah, so that is all I've been doing. But as I say, it's been, when I've not been spinning, I've been knitting this, and it's just round and round in circles. So I've been knitting it in the car, while watching podcasts, while watching the Tour de France. I spent a day on it during the Tour de Fleece because I had done so much spinning the day before that I was like spun out, basically.
You were in danger of giving yourself a spinning-based injury.
I was.
If you...
Yeah, so that's literally all the knitting that I've done since the last podcast. Just going round and round and round on a jumper. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all the whips.
Yeah. And once again, we have no finished objects.
No.
We're terrible.
Well, we've been spinning. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
I mean, next week we'll probably have a
Yeah.
boatload
A
of finished
jumper
objects.
and socks. Well, I've got like 2 halves of a pair of socks.
That's true. They're kind of finished.
If
They're
they were,
hose. Half objects.
yeah, if they were the same, you know, yarn, well, the other thing, if they were the same colour of the yarn,
Yeah.
they would count as a pair.
You could wear them as a pair if you like mismatched socks.
Yeah. I like mismatched socks in bought socks. I don't like
Okay.
mismatched socks in
Knitted
socks now. Always wear my knitted socks in a pair.
Right, so next is stash enhancement. Do you want to go first for stash enhancement?
Oh, yes. In Tour de Fleece news,
Oh, yeah.
I was the Polka Dot Jersey of the Alternate Universe Tour de Fleece team this year.
Which meant you had spun your way up the most mountains, I believe.
Yeah. Mum asked me what that meant in terms of spinning. And I was,
Spun your way up a lot of mountain
yeah.
ranges.
Yeah. I said I meant I challenged myself the most, but I don't know. Well, in Kim's opinion.
Yeah.
Because I won 2. This is where the rude bit comes in. I won 2 of these bats. Put it back in. They're called. Yeah. Maybe don't look, Mum. If Dad is watching, definitely don't look, because he's, you know, more anti-swearing than she is. There we are.
Well, you know, it's censored.
Yes, it is kind of censored. I didn't name this bat. Kim didn't name this bat. This is all the fault of Sam. So yeah.
Please address your complaints to...
Yes. Sam also has a cat, so he can deal with those complaints.
Yeah.
And a dog. So, you know, this is what the bat looks like. It's a mixture of many, many things. That's about as much as I'm willing to unfold it. It's got linen, merino, BFL, Shetland, and some unknown stuff. I don't know whether Kim is just keeping it a mystery as a surprise or a challenge, or whether she doesn't actually know.
Or she's forgotten.
Yeah, that you know, there's all these possibilities. But the colours actually are very similar to some yarn I bought. I think it was Teeswater that had been dyed these sort of greeny turquoise and red colours, and then I knit Mum a cowl out of it. So maybe I should spin this into yarn and knit a cowl out of it, and then I can have sort of matching cowl with my mother. I'm not sure if I, you know, want to do that. But anyway, so that will be. I will try and spin this before next year's Tour de Fleece. Make no promises. But since the Tour de Fleece finished, I have done absolutely no spinning. So I think I'm a little bit spun out because I'd spun every day, and sometimes quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done to enhance my stash. So
That's all your stash enhancement.
yes.
Okay, right. I have stash enhancement as well, which is awesome, and I'm so excited about this one because I've wanted it for ages. So this, she says, throwing a bobbin around. This beautiful colourway is from Paper Stories on Etsy, and it is 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 metres, and it is the Molly Weasley. I don't know if you can see because it's blown it out a bit. Molly Weasley colourway, and this is gorgeous. It is sort of orangey browns, some slightly reddish bits. It's a very Weasley, specifically Molly Weasley colourway. I think it's that sort of red, fiery orange, brown. I think there's like some purpley.
Yeah,
bits,
I think under the label there's
purpley bits in there as well. And the girl who owns the Paper Stories shop has a huge array of Harry Potter based yarns, just for every character you can think of. And she does them in a lot of different bases as well. And I'd seen her Molly Weasley sock yarn on her Etsy shop, and then it sold out. And so I sent her a message going, are you going to make any more Molly Weasley sock yarn? Because I'd really love some. And she sent me a message back saying, yes, I have some dyed up for Fibre East. I will sell you a skein of that if you would like. And I did. So she did, and I bought it, and here it is.
Yay.
So, and it's lovely. And I got I did get a stitch marker with it as well.
Oh yes, but a very, very appropriate stitch
where
marker.
I left it. Did I put it in here? Yes, I did. So it also came with a very appropriate stitch marker that I now can't get out of the bag. There we go. Which
that was me
is
filling for time. Sorry.
a little broom. It's a little broom stitch marker, which is lovely. So I'm so chuffed with this, and this is going to get knit before the end of Stash Dash, and suitably it's going to be a Mrs. Weasley family sock, which is a pattern on Ravelry. So I mean, what else could you knit Molly Weasley yarn into? But it's just going to be the coziest pair of socks. It's so beautiful. It's gorgeous yarn. The base is beautiful, and the colours are so warm, quite autumnal in colour. I think it will make such a lovely cozy pair of socks. Molly Weasley is my absolute favourite Harry Potter character in both the film and the book versions.
So much so that you have.
So much so that I have a Molly Weasley wand, which is this one. So I thought I'd show that as well to go with mine. This is Molly Weasley's wand. It's very heavy, and I always say that if she hadn't managed to kill Bellatrix Lestrange by casting a spell, she could have just clonked her over the head with the wand, because it's really quite hefty.
Not at all springy.
No, it's not springy at all. So even if that hadn't worked, she could have just gone bosh and smacked her around the head with it, and it probably would have had the same effect. But yes, Molly Weasley is my absolute favourite Harry Potter character, and I am thrilled that I've managed to get a skein of this gorgeous, gorgeous yarn, and it's going to be a pair of gorgeous, gorgeous socks. I'm very excited about that. That's all my stash enhancements. We've not spent money on stuff. We've not knitted stuff.
I know. Well, you've got kind of another stash enhancement.
So very sad. Do I?
Yeah, you've got the other back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Roz kindly, because she got 2 bats of fibre from Alternate Universe as her prize, and she kindly gifted one of them to me.
So we've got 50 grams
she's
each.
lovely.
So we can spin them.
Yes, and also we will be getting more bats soon, because we have joined a. Are they braids? Are they?
Yeah, they're top.
Well, we'll be getting more stuff to spin.
Yes.
Because we've joined a fibre club, but we will tell you more about that once the fibre has arrived.
Yes,
and
we will show you on the podcast.
Which is lovely. Yeah, that's it for. Look, we're 19 minutes in, and we've already done all our whips and finished objects and stash enhancements.
Yeah, the finished objects were really quick, weren't they?
Yeah, that was really exciting. Right, so on to what I guess the majority of our yarn-based activities have been since the last podcast, and that is spinning.
So much spinning. I have spun 5 yarns. This is pretty much all from Alternate Universe. This is Strawberries and Cream. I spun this long draw from the fold, which is, not entirely how I spun all the others. But this is 2-ply, and it's for long draw. It's pretty thin. I think this is one of the thinnest long draws I've done. It is 241 meters, so 480 meters something for Stash Dash. It's mostly this sort of red strawberry colour, but it's also got nylon and I think bamboo. Yes. So there's red Shetland, and also I think red bamboo, and then there's the white nylon, which makes it all sort of shiny and also creamy. So that's yarn number 1. Yarn number 2, I think I showed last time, but it was on the bobbin. This is the 10th rolags, the rolags that give 105%. I plied them with some mystery cone yarn that I got. alternate.
With the 10th rolags, right? If it's named after the 10th Doctor, like he goes through like space and time, so maybe that's why it has 105% because it like defies the laws of space time, like the Doctor does.
Yes.
There you go, Kim. You can say it's that. You're welcome.
It's space maths.
Yes.
So this is it sort of as a skein rather than on the bobbin, and altogether that is 196 meters, which out of 50 grams is not that bad. But then it's plied with something else, so that's the length of the single that I spun. I didn't spin the thing I plied it with, which is a random mystery cone yarn. But yeah, it's all sort of greens and browns, sort of different greens. I have no idea what I'm going to use this for, but I've spun it now, so who cares? That's future Roz's problem. And then these are some rolags that I showed. Well, these were some rolags that I showed on the last podcast. They were the zero waste rolags. They were the ones with all the little bobbles on. Look. Some of the bobbles have survived the spinning and the plying and the soaking and the everything else. And they're just clinging on in there. So this was a set of 4 or 5 rolags. I can't 50 grams anyway. They came out as 70.5 meters of a 2-ply, so 141 meters for Stash Dash. And they're sort of a mix of wool neps, other wool, just, they're the sort of ends of
neps
bits
are the little bobbly bits.
Yeah.
That are in there.
Yeah,
that go
neps.
Everywhere,
yes.
As we have discovered.
Yeah. I cleverly spun it here and plied it here so as to get most of the neps on Em's floor. Ta-da! Because I'm so kind like that. So yeah, they're sort of just bits and bobs that have been carded together and then pulled off the drum carder into rolags. So yeah, those are rolags. I spun those long draw from the rolags. And then I have 2 skeins because I couldn't fit them.
That's bright.
I couldn't fit the skeins on. It's just
like heavenly skein.
Blowing out so much. This is Corriedale from AdelaideWalker.com.co.uk something. I'll put the web address, sort of here. I have to edit the podcast.
Yeah,
because
I'm busy.
Em is librarying.
I am.
This is just. I think it was it was 200 grams of Corriedale. Then Em learned to spin and I gave her some. So I think this is about 140 grams of Corriedale. 2-ply. Spun, long draw from the fold. So it's quite...
It's very floofy.
Yeah. It's not got much drape. It's pretty... I don't know what the opposite of drape is. Sturdy? Bouncy? I don't know. But it's...
it has much stirred.
Yeah.
No drape and much stirred.
Yeah. Altogether, it is 332 meters, so 664 for Stash Dash meters. So, yeah.
Look at you doing maths on the fly.
I know. I can double numbers that are, they're all less than 5.
Your dad will be so proud.
I know. So, yeah, those are the second to last thing I spun for Stash Dash. And that is also reasonably thin. It's pretty similar to the yardage for the strawberries and cream because that was 100 grams and this is 140. And then I'd saved. I don't know if you're not a spinner, you probably don't know this, but as you spin, especially as you spin long draw, if you lose the twist, if you don't put enough twist in, your single breaks and it sort of goes all sort of floofy, and you can't really spin it. So I break it off. I have a lap cloth that you might have seen in a previous episode with a little pocket on, and I tuck the waste in the pocket and I saved all the waste. I end up with about 25 grams of stuff I've spun.
Random floof.
So this is all the stuff I've spun over the Tour de France.
De Fleece.
Carded together to make some hand carded rolags, so they were very floofy on my hand carders. And you can see, look, there's the occasional nep. And there's this yellow, which is either from... I took a chunk of yours as well.
Okay.
Well, your Sunshine, or it's the yellow from my Hallows Eve Dusk. And then those are the colours, I think, from the Paisley or from the Kinder Trespass that I spun at the beginning. There's some red there from the strawberries and cream. There's all sorts. So I made like my own no waste rolags. It's only 25 grams, but I got 16.5 meters of a chain ply. It's all kinds of, it's thick and thin. It's crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, because but it was a sort of a fun experiment in, can you sort of recard bits of floof that have sort of been twisted but haven't really, and I reduced my waste by, well, this probably isn't even 25 grams, because I had 25 grams, but not all of there was further waste, from this when I lost the twist. But I'm not making more rolags out of that, because they could just go on forever. So yeah, that is a little skein of like general Tour de Fleece everything.
Odds and ends.
Yeah. It's come out sort of a bit
probably some
brown.
of my hair in there as well. I imagine.
Probably, and mine, and yeah.
Maybe a bit of dog hair.
Yeah, well, yeah, all the stuffs. But yeah, that was an interesting experiment. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this either. Maybe I'll just keep it as like a little memento type thing rather than, because it's a very strange colour. I don't know what I'd spin to go with it. But yeah, that is all my spinning.
Okie dokie.
Oh, I haven't got an update on my stash total, because I've been writing it down in a little notebook. I didn't bring the little notebook with me, so it's about 6,500 meters at the moment, I think, and that's not including the crochet blanket. So maybe I'll make it. Who knows?
Okay. Right. Mine. I have one thing to show, but like it's lots, basically. So. Over the last couple of episodes, you may remember that I've got a massive hole in my tights I've just found.
Oh.
Over the last,
is that something the podcast needs to know about?
Over the last couple of episodes, I've been spinning lots of different things from Alternate Universe that we picked up over the couple of weeks we went there for sort of spinning sessions and things. And last week I showed the Pride rolags and the big yellow braid that I was spinning at the time. And before then I had the French quarter ones that I'd spun, and I may have shown on the podcast as a single last week, possibly, I don't remember.
I think so.
Possibly. Anyway, I spun all of those up and then plied the three of them together to make a sock yarn. So first of all, this is the remains of the yellow braid, because there was more of that than there was of the other two. So this is one of the singles, if you can see. This is the yellow sunshine braid, which was wool and nylon, and
possibly also some bamboo.
But it had nylon in it, which is obviously good for socks. Yeah. So I have that much left, but when it was full, it was like full. So this and the two sets of rolags that I spun up, the French quarter, which was like a purpley yellowy one, and that was 100% bamboo. And then the Pride ones, which were wool and nylon and bamboo, so more nylon because sock yarn. So I plied all of them together, and it took a long time.
It took most of a day.
Most of the day, and then the next day I had to not spin anything because I'd overspun myself so much. I was like, oh, I had spinning related injuries. But out of that, I got a whole load of this, which is 3-ply. Kind of, the twist varies at different points depending on, how much I could be bothered, really, because there's a lot. There's this big skein, and then there's a smaller one as well. So the colours all change at different points. So you can see there's some of the yellow. The yellow runs throughout, but the other colours kind of shift and change as the singles change colour. So you can see there's some yellow and red. There's the bits that are all yellow. There are some that have got some yellow and some red and some blue. Some have got some green. So it's a nice sort of variant of lots of different colours. And I like the fact that there's yellow running through it because it's a Tour de Fleece spinning project. So yellow is an appropriate colour to have as a main colour. So there's this big one. They're both the same. They're both 3-ply, but when I was putting this on the yarn swift, it was getting a bit full. So I had to take this off and do another one. So that is how much I've got. Lots. So much. This I have named Tour d'Alternate because it's my Tour de Fleece project made from Alternate Universe fibre that I bought from Alternate during the Tour de Fleece. So this is a Tour d'Alternate, and I'm going to try and read my numbers that I've scribbled down to try and make sense of it. Right, so in this big one, I've confused myself.
That's 277 metres, the big skein.
That's 277.2 times 3 is 831. Oh, right, okay, sorry. My numbers are all over the place. Right. This is 277.2, so 277 metres and 2 centimetres of 20 centimetres of 3-plied yarn. So for Stash Dash, that is, I didn't do the centimetres, but that's about 831 metres in that one. And this one, the smaller one, is 154 metres of 3-plied yarn, which is 463.68 centimetres. No, 463 metres and 68 centimetres for Stash Dash for the singles. So altogether, this is why I'm getting so confused. Altogether, as a 3-ply, this is 431 metres and 20 centimetres of yarn. And in the singles are 1,294 metres and 68 centimetres of singles. So the interesting bit is for Stash Dash, this is 1,294 metres and 68 centimetres. Yes. That was the interesting part.
Loads of Stash Dash.
I'm aiming for 7k for my Stash Dash. I'm being very lax about actually measuring stuff and working out how much stuff is. So there's loads of stuff that I haven't yet added. And I think up until now I was at like 1,600 and something, maybe. I can't remember.
So you're about 1,000 now, and then more with your jumper.
The jumper is 1,000. Will be about 1,600 because that's what it says in the pattern. It might be a little bit more, but it'll be roughly that.
Yeah.
Plus the other spinning I've done. Plus I'll have 2 lots of socks as well.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. And then there's Molly Weasley socks and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hopeful. Oh, and I can count my crochet squares as well.
Yeah. The ones that you've crocheted.
I'm feeling like Stash Dash I might get there to 7k. I feel that's an achievable goal. Yes, so this is my Tour d'Alternate. If I then knit with this, does it count again?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll knit socks out of this and then I'll count it. Yes, this is my Tour d'Alternate. And yeah, I mean, this was my first ever Tour de Fleece and it was really good fun. And Kim puts on an awesome bash for Tour de Fleece, and I think that's kind of what makes it such a good thing, like such a fun thing to do, because we went down to Alternate Universe 3 times altogether for their spinning sort of sessions, and they were brilliant. And so thank you so much to Kim and Bev for putting on such a fab tour for everyone. I'm super excited to do it again next year. Where I will have a wheel for all of it, which is exciting.
I mean, you can join the team from anywhere in the world, but it's especially good team to be on if you live in this area.
One of the people who won one of the prizes, I think the white jersey for the new spinner was from Texas.
Yes.
So yeah, people from all over the world. It's all done sort of through Instagram. So if you did not take part in Tour de Fleece this year, and you might next year, I fully recommend it. Yeah, I didn't spin at all this time last year. So and now here I am. So yeah. So what a good Tour de Fleece, and it means now we can both get back to concentrating on knitting rather than spinning. So hopefully, podcast from now on will have more knitting related content rather than the 3 weeks of a lot of spinning that we've had for the past few.
I've discovered a terrible thing when I was putting away some of my hand spun. It no longer fits in my box of hand spun, so I'm going to have to get knitting with some hand spun ASAP.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a concerted effort to try and do an actual figure for my Stash Dash by next week of all the stuff. Because for the last few weeks I've been like, I've done this, but I don't know how much this is, and I haven't added it together. So at no point have I been like, this is what my Stash Dash total is. So I'll try and do that for next week.
Well, you need to get cracking on it because next week it'll be August, and by the 20th, I think, of August, Dash Dash is finished. So, you know, there's not much time left.
No.
And I've got about 4,500 more meters to go.
Okay.
So.
We will have to get cracking in that case. Yes, so next week we are away for a week, but we may well podcast while we're away.
Yes, because all we need to take is the iPad, and it's not very big.
No. So that may happen, although it won't go up until we get back because we can edit it here.
Yeah, that's true. At some point in time, you'll see another episode. Subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, and you'll get a notification when we put another episode up.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching.
Yes.
We are really very much enjoying doing podcasts, and it is inspiring us to actually get some stuff done.
Yes, although not at the moment to finish anything. So
no.
Apparently that's my dad's favourite part of the podcast. He watches occasionally and he likes it when we show finished things. So sorry, Dad.
None today. Although we have finished yarns.
Oh yeah.
But that was because it was Tour de Fleece, so we're concentrating. Yeah. Next week I might have socks and a jumper to finish, so it could all get very exciting. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching.
Yes. Please, subscribe or comment or like the video or tell us things.
Yeah, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.